Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock of the Emerald Planet and Emerald Planet TV. We come to you on a week-to-week basis from Washington, D.C. in the United States as we look around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for those 1,000 best practices, the technology, services, and products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And as we have a planet of 9 billion people by 2038 and possibly 12 to 13 billion by the end of this century, how are we going to be able to take care of all these people on planet Earth? And that's what Emerald Planet's all about. We come to you looking at the solutions, the best practices from around the globe as we create the Emerald Planet. Hello, welcome to the Emerald Planet. We're making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And seeing the long-term impacts of climate change. We're glad to have you. Thank you for being with us.
Looking at the African continent, why is it becoming so important as we're moving through the 21st century? Now over 1 billion people, the youngest population on the planet, 54 different nations, very diverse cultures, languages, education, everything. And yet it's becoming really almost the center of the universe, and we'll see that in the map in just a minute. So Kimberly Fogg is the founder of Global Sustainable Partnerships in Africa's Titans. And Kimberly, welcome back to the Emerald Planet TV.
Thank you, Dr. Sam. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Global Sustainable Partnerships, what is it and why is it important?
Global Sustainable Partnerships is an organization that provides access to clean water for children in primary and secondary schools, orphanages, households, and health dispensaries. And we also teach health, hygiene, and sanitation practices so that we make sure that we create opportunities for healthier kids and healthier communities.
That's fantastic. Looking at the term Africa's Titans, this is something you came up with. What a fantastic idea. Why are Africa's Titans focusing on females so important as we do move through the 21st century?
Well, the African Titans came about because we believe that women are the cornerstone of their families. And when you give women opportunities to work, create jobs, and they create opportunities for other people in their communities to work, especially women, which also it has a ripple effect because, you know, once a mother can work, a mother can take care of her children. She can buy school clothes and pay for school fees. So we wanted to make sure that we were able to give women opportunities within their own communities.
That is absolutely fantastic. We're looking at this. This is really a new map. It's only been out a couple of years. Why is Africa in its proper place now? Before it was, you know, right or left, up or down, not proportion to its actual size as it relates to the rest of the world. Why is Africa now dead center in the world global maps?
Because Africa is the new frontier, and everybody realizes all of the amazing resources that are available, all the beautiful and wonderful people that are there, and people are really starting to figure out and to take notice that there's so many great opportunities in Africa.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fantastic. Now, this is really, I like this tagline, Women Transforming a Continent. Why are you saying that about Africa's Titans? Because usually you're not featuring females, but 100% of the leadership you're featuring are females.
Yeah, you know, it just seems like just so many years, and women have always been looked at as, you know, victims of violence, victims of, you know, just other things. And there is an emerging class of women who are parts, you know, they are a part of parliament now. They're attorneys. They're leaders in their communities. We even now have ambassadors, and we even have female presidents. So we are really trying to tell the story about how amazing these women are, and they can come from a small village, but it's not where you come from, it's where you end up. And that's what we're trying to make sure that people know about our African Titans.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. And this is just shows the diversity on the African continent as far as the number of countries involved. It's just an amazing continent with everything that's going on, and it fits together beautifully because of the natural resources. But we're going to be talking about one of your outstanding winners in the African Titans contest,
Yes.
and she's from Rwanda. Tell us why Rwanda is important, and
Yes.
who is the person that we're going to be featuring?
Oh, well, Rwanda is so important, especially because of what happened about 20 years ago. And it was, not a very good situation, but the country has really turned around, and it really is a story of survival and, being the phoenix coming out from the ashes and, blooming into a beautiful phoenix, right? Or bird or whatever it is. The metamorphosis has just been amazing. And we have this amazing young lady, Sheila, who's actually from Burundi. And I really just found out that she's actually royal family from Burundi. And her mother is Rwandan. So that's why we're talking about Sheila being in Rwanda.
Okay, and she has this farmer's Ubuntu honeybees. Now, looking at
Yes.
honeybees, this is something that we started talking about in earnest this past year. Why are honeybees so important on the African continent?
Well, one of the reasons that they're so important is, there's a shortage of bees. And so this is a great opportunity for people in these communities to build their traditional beehives to attract more bees and to actually take care of the bees. It's in the bush in a natural environment, but they are man-made hives, and it really allows for the bees to really the survivability is just so much greater.
Now, looking at this is your award winner. We're out in the bush in Rwanda.
Yes,
So tell us a little
Sheila.
bit why we're out in the bush, and the bees. What are they, and why are they so important?
Well, I'm just going to tell you a little story about Sheila and how this all kind of got started, because it's interesting. But she had all of these bees coming around her house, and she didn't know what was going on. Her kids were afraid. And so a friend of hers came by and said, "Why are you've got all these bees. Do you know what bees represent?" And she said, "No, I don't." And she says, "Bees follow the royal families." And she says, "Oh, well, that's interesting, because I'm a princess in Burundi, even though my mother married my father, who is from Burundi, but we grew up in Rwanda, but I'm actually a princess." So she found out that there's this amazing story about how bees follow the royal family. And so she says, well, maybe there is some type of spiritual thing that I'm supposed to follow. And so she started talking to the villager. She talked to somebody introduced her to a beekeeper, and the beekeeper, they talked and developed a relationship. And the beekeeper says, "Yes, I think that you could actually have these bees, because bees don't just come to you; they have to be drawn to you. It's like a spiritual awakening in the culture." And once the beekeeper brought one queen bee, put the queen bee in the beehive, and 2 days later, all of the bees came.
Yeah,
And
this
so,
is amazing, and this is a
yes,
fantastic photograph. How she went from a hive, now she has
yes,
multiple hives, and of course now she's
absolutely.
sharing these with villagers throughout Rwanda. So, looking at the
Yes.
countryside and the importance of the bees as pollinators, why are they so important in an agricultural country like Rwanda?
Well, that's kind of a hard question for me, because I'll tell you, one of the things that she told me is the beekeepers are the ones that know the secret to that. why it's so important to the community, right? So from my standpoint, in terms of why they're so important to the Rwandans and to the women, is because they actually are a source of work for the women. So for me, that's really important, because that's what all African Titans is all about. So the bees are actually bringing jobs, and so for me, that's the real important piece of Ubuntu, Honey, and Jeanne, Sheila.
Well, of course, bees are pollinators. So unless you have bees, there's not going to be any plants. Probably almost a little bit less than 50%
Well,
of
that's
all
true.
the plants must have bees as pollinators or have pollinators. And bees are one of the key pollinators in that whole process. So that's critically important. They're a linchpin for agriculture in Rwanda. And that's true around the whole globe. But looking at it, then taking those bees and then starting to harvest the honey that's coming from the various plants that has the nectar that the bees can feed on, and then start producing the honey itself. Why is it so important as far as the women to have this source of income?
Wow. It's so important because it really helps their families. It helps put food on their table. It helps, if somebody's sick, they can get medication. Again, it helps with school fees. It helps with providing clothing for their children. They have to wear uniforms. So it really does allow a mother and a family to have things that they otherwise wouldn't have without having an income to be able to provide for their families.
Yeah, and looking at
Yes.
these products that are coming out, there's a number of different ones. I know that she has different flavors as far as the honey
Yes.
itself is concerned, and she's even turned it into some wines, which I understand is both a medicine and a food at the same time of
Yes.
being a nice beverage. But looking at getting these products out into society, how is this actually helping these families? You talk about school fees and clothing and even shoes and backpacks and things like that. What else is going on to support the women to take care of their families?
Well, it's also putting money back into the local economy.
Mhm.
And so, if you can have that have the opportunity to be able to have these jobs and sell these their honey, it also puts money back into it. That puts money back into the community. So
Mhm.
that's another really important. So it's really community building, not just
Yeah,
with the
and I
family,
think
but
it's really incredible that they're taking the bees are, doing the pollination. They're using the local plants, and then they're taking and generating money to go right back into the community. And the packaging and all this is
absolutely.
actually very lovely. We're going to go out with this because there's training going on, getting more and more women involved. So, what do you
Yes.
see for the growth and development as far as the women farmers, the Ubuntu honeybees over the next 5, 10, or 15 years? And we got about 20 seconds to do all that.
To be able to expand their operations to other countries and to expand teaching other women how to become beekeepers or how to harvest the honey. And that's the beautiful thing about it, is because if when she teaches the women in Rwanda how to do that, she can go to neighboring countries, Tanzania, she can go to other countries and actually create almost very same similar to be able to give opportunities for women
That's
through bees.
absolutely fantastic. This is Kimberly Fogg, founder, Global Sustainable Partnerships, Africa's Titans. Thank you for being with us as we create the Emerald Planet.
Thank you.
We have a very exciting topic to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the kingdom of Ugwogo, Nike, and Enugu State, Nigeria. Nigeria is the largest country on the African continent, has a huge population base, very young, and huge natural resources. And we have someone who's very, very special. She is a real queen, Her Royal Highness Ugoeze, Ugwoege, and she's going to be talking about her kingdom and why it's so important and why the people are very much involved in agriculture. And you allowed me to call you Ugoeze, and thank you very much, your queen. And tell us about what is a kingdom in Nigeria?
Oh, okay. The kingdom in Nigeria is where the king is in charge of the whole community. They come to him for instructions. They come to him as an advocate.
Mm-hmm.
They also come to the palace, like when people have problems with each other, they come for settlement.
That's absolutely fantastic. Now, what I want to do is I want to start off with Africa at the center of the map, and I'm going to share this for you because this is something that the map makers were trying to do for centuries, is to have Africa at the center of the map because it truly is as far as the globe is concerned. But it also relates to the new importance as far as Africa, the African people, the 54 different nations. Now, the Africa that we know it is a very diverse place. And this is something I think is very special about Africa, Ugoeze, is that there is such great diversity on the African continent. Why do you think that's so important?
Um, I think that is so important because Africans they take care of each other, they love each other, they are their brothers and sisters keepers. In fact, Africans as a whole, they 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 work hard to make sure that they take care of their family and their extended family members.
I think that's very important. Now, Nigeria is an important and very critical country. It has the largest population base. It's going towards 300 million people. And we're actually showing your area of Nigeria. But why do you think Nigeria has such an important place among the 54 nations on the African continent?
Well, Nigeria is blessed with natural resources of different kinds.
Mm-hmm.
For example, gold, coal, petroleum,
Mm-hmm.
cocoa, a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
that makes Africa unique from other parts of, makes Nigeria unique from other parts of Africa.
Yeah, yeah, it's an amazing country. Now, Enugu State, this is where your kingdom is located. Tell us a little bit about Enugu State and why that is important for the southeastern part of Nigeria.
Enugu State is one of the oldest states in eastern part of Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Enugu State has a lot of natural resources too. You get coal, you get salt, you get so many minerals from Enugu State too.
Mm-hmm.
That's another reason that it is so important to that part of the country.
Yeah, and I think that's very, very important. Now, looking at you are the queen of your kingdom. The king is standing right beside you. In the world, there's really not that many kingdoms out there, but kingdoms on and in Nigeria have a very special standing. They're officially recognized by the central government. They have standing in the parliament. Why do you think it's so critically important in the 21st century that you have, as you, a king and a queen, that takes care of almost over 1 million people?
Well, before the people trust you to give you such responsibility,
Mhm.
you must have your integrity intact.
Mhm.
You must be responsible, and you must be somebody that will represent the community or the kingdom very well in the society. So if they trust you, that's when they will say, okay, this particular person will be our ruler, traditional ruler or whatever.
Mhm. Now, I just love this photograph. This is very nicely done. And I've talked to the king several times. He is absolutely delightful, but also, as you say, he has integrity, is very smart. But you look really relaxed. Why not only being smart, dynamic, positive leaders, why do the people want you to be relaxed and, in a sense, be one of them to make the kingdom work?
Well, the king is a go-getter for his people before they made him the king in that community. He travels outside the nation. In fact, for example, he goes to United States up to 2 or 3 times a year looking for something good for his people.
Mhm.
So the people in his community appreciated a lot.
Mhm.
They decided that when it is time for them to look for somebody to be in charge of that community,
Mhm.
that is the king that they will make their ruler. And because of his contribution in that community before now, that's why they made him their ruler in that kingdom.
Mhm. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Now, going to the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, this is something, out of the United Nations, very important. And of course, the SDGs have evolved from the Sustainable Development Goals. And you are one of the award winners in the world. Why is this so important for not only Nigeria, but also the people of your kingdom to have such an honor?
Um, it's so important because of the kind of work we do for the people in that community. We try to help as much as we can
Mhm.
by establishing a farm, Ugoeze farm, where so many youths, women, they work and they make money out of it. And so many people now are self-employed because of the activities going on in Ugoeze farm. That is one of the reasons.
Well, having the multi-purpose cooperative society, I think, is very important. Cooperatives are important so that people can work together and grow together and develop the various activities. But I know this SDG number 2, zero hunger, is something that's very important to you and the king. Why zero hunger in the kingdom?
Because we have a large farm where people work. We engage the youths, we engage the women. In fact, people of all grades in the kingdom, they work in the farm to get money to pay for their children's school fees. The youths, they make money to feed themselves and their dependents.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the award thing is important to us.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's really important. And, we're going to move this, but I wanted to move forward to the women. You really focus on the women in the kingdom. Why this focus on the females for your kingdom? And we're almost out of time, Ugoeze.
Oh, the women are very hardworking. Despite that, there's a lot of poverty in the place, but they work so hard to train their children.
Mm-hmm.
They work so hard to also feed their children. That's why we focus on them to help them do what they are doing for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We just have a few seconds left, Ugoeze. What do you see for encouraging women to be involved over the next 5, 10, or 15 years? And we have to be very quick. We only have about 15 seconds left.
Oh, we encourage them to keep on doing what they're doing, to make sure that in the next 5 or 10 years, that there will be a bigger progress in that community based on what they're doing with their children, the good work they're doing for their children and the members in the community.
That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you for being with us as we look around the globe to create the Emerald Planet. We're talking about the nation of Nigeria. Very large country, huge population base, rich in all natural resources. And yet there are a number of kingdoms throughout Nigeria, recognized in law and by the nation's parliament. And these traditional rulers have a real role and a real purpose in the 21st century. And we have a real queen that's going to be sharing with us about her kingdom, Her Royal Highness Ugoeze Ugwu. She is in the kingdom of Ugwogo, Nike, in Enugu State in Nigeria. And Ugoeze, I'm going to be able to call you that. Thank you. And looking at Nigeria, why is Nigeria so important as far as the African continent and its position among the other 54 nations?
Nigeria is so important among the other nations because it's blessed with so many natural resources, like I said before now. They have so many educated people in Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the largest countries in Africa. And also, Nigeria produces a lot of things. We have diamond, we have gold, we have so many things that makes Nigeria great.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country. I've been there. Very large, dynamic, and it's just an amazing place. But you come from an area, Enugu State, and I know that that's in the southeast area of Nigeria. Why is Enugu State so important?
Enugu State is so important because Enugu is one of the old states in the southeast part of Nigeria. So it is so important to people in Nigeria and the people of Enugu State as a whole.
Now, looking at your kingdom, this is the kingdom of Ugwogo, Nike, in Enugu State, and you are one of the SDG, Sustainable Development Goal winners and honoree. Why is SDGs from the United Nations so important for Nigeria, but also for the entire continent of Africa?
Oh, the SDG award is so important to us in Nigeria and the other parts of Africa because it's an honor to us people of Enugu State that we are recognized on what we do in the kingdom and in Enugu State as a whole.
Now, working together as the queen and king for your kingdom, this is something that's very important. It's quite a unique system, even in today's world, the 21st century, to have kingdoms. But yet, these are very important, not only from the standpoint of economy, but also for the environment and community development. So, how do you and the king work together to balance the environment, the economy, and the community?
Oh, it requires hard work for us to balance both of them. So we are on our toes, we work 24/7 to make sure that we do our best and to make sure that we help the people that that are under our care.
That's absolutely wonderful. Now, looking at your presence as far as the kingdom is concerned, you really are focused on the females and having them involved in the community. Why do you think, Ugoeze, that it's so important that you have your energy and your leadership working with the women and young girls for the kingdom?
Well, it's important to us working with the women and the young ladies because we want to make sure that they have employment and we want to make sure that they are focused and they also have experience in what is going on in the modern world.
Now, looking at your area of Enugu State, it is a huge agricultural production area, very green, and many different variety of plants and vegetables, fruit, anything to be eaten, but also to care for the land, the water, and the air. Why is it so important to you and the king that you be very conscious and take care of the environment in your kingdom and Enugu State?
Oh, it's very important to us because um, good environment is healthy to each and every one of us in that community.
Mm-hmm.
So we appreciate the greens, we appreciate the water, we appreciate those things from nature.
Now, involving the youth, I know this is something that you and the king both really focus on, of having the youth. And of course, Nigeria really is the land of youth, like African continent is the continent of youth. Why is it so important to have the youth engaged now in the environment, in agriculture, and in the community?
Well, it is said that the youths are the leaders of tomorrow, which is very important to us. That's why we want to groom the youths so that they will take over and start from where we stopped when we get old.
Now, families are really the core of life in Nigeria, the core of life in your kingdom and in the state. Tell us why that the families are so important to each other, but in a sense, it's one large family across the kingdom itself.
Family is so important in Nigeria and in Africa at large, because your family take care of yourself when you are old.
Mm-hmm.
Your family help you to do a lot of things. Without your family members, for example, when you are old here, you can go to the assistant living home. But it's not like that in Nigeria. Your family takes care of you. That's why it's so important to people.
Yeah, and I know this is something that you and the king work on day in and day out. Also, having the community totally involved in agriculture on the kingdom is something that you and the king really focus on virtually every day of the week. Why are the people in your kingdom so very much involved in agriculture?
They're so very much involved in agriculture because I and the king, we lead by example. So they can go to farm every day, and I think it's a kind of motivation to the people in the community. So they're motivated to, to join.
Mm-hmm.
And more especially, they make money out of it. And they learn more modern technology while they work with the king. Sometimes they go on training. I think is one of the reasons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's very important. I'm going to go through some of these because I wanted to get over to these images of the children. We're almost out of time, Ugoeze. Looking at the youth, and I keep saying they're the generation of today and tomorrow. How are they, these young people, as much a part of today's generation as the future over the next 5, 10, or 15 years? And we have to be quick. We're almost out of time.
Anyway, the thing is that the children, we say that the leaders of today and also tomorrow, when they are well trained, when you lead them the right way, and then you will enjoy them in the future. They will take over. So they really need to be focused when you direct them on the right path.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. And what handsome children they are. I really like these school uniforms. Thank you for being with us, Your Royal Highness Ugoeze Ugwu, the Kingdom of Ugwogo Nike and Enugu State, Nigeria, as we create the Emerald Planet. We're looking at the nation of Nigeria, very large country, densely populated, young, vibrant population, and huge natural resources. It's one of the leaders of the 21st century on the African continent among the 54 different nations. And there are a number of traditional rulers that are in Nigeria, formally recognized by law, recognized by the national parliament, and yet they are the ones that are the closest to the people in helping to bring change, and particularly a focus on the green economy of Nigeria at one time, focused on hydrocarbons, crude oil, natural gas, now moving further and further into the green space. And we're going to be talking about the future of agricultural development on a very special kingdom. And we have Her Royal Highness Ugoeze Ugwu. She is the Kingdom of Ugwogo, Nigeria, Enugu State, and Nigeria. And thank you for being with us and talking about your kingdom and Nigeria itself.
You're welcome, Fogg.
Now, we really are going to be talking about agriculture because this really seems to be becoming the cornerstone as far as the new green economy in Nigeria. Why is agriculture so important in your kingdom, but also across Nigeria as a nation?
Agriculture is so important in our kingdom and in fact across the nation because agriculture is the key. Even here in the United States, some of the richest people here are into agriculture. Mm-hmm. It is so important to us that if you don't make money, at least you eat healthy. Mm-hmm. It gives people employment. And also it empowers the youth. That's one of the reasons that is so important to our kingdom.
Mm-hmm. I think that's really important, and we have to think about the current and the future generations as far as Nigeria is concerned, and the role of agriculture is playing. Now, your kingdom is becoming quite well known, not just in Nigeria, but on the continent, but also among the European Union nations and the United States. What is happening in Nigeria that you're moving away from crude oil and natural gas, fossil fuels, into agriculture?
Agriculture is very, very important because sometimes they will tell you that the international market, that the crude oil is, the price is low. Everyone is dependent on crude oil in Nigeria, but we don't want to depend on that. We moved into agriculture, and that is helping a lot of people, giving youths, women, even the disabled, is giving them more employment. And that's why it gives us joy that a lot of people, that we can give them employment through what we do in agriculture.
Yeah, now you have a wide variety of plants, some that are converted into pharmaceuticals, others for local consumption, some for export. Why is there such a diversity as far as plants, herbs, and fruit in Nigeria?
Oh, some of the plants, fruits, vegetables that we have in Nigeria are highly medicinal. It serves as a lot of things that you can use them for. For example, a cassava, you can use even the leaf for as a medicine. Yes. So there are so many leaves, like bitter leaves, the things we cultivate in the farm, that are highly medicinal. That's why we get into varieties in the farm.
Now, your state, your kingdom is very lovely, and we have a photograph here as far as the mix of the trees and the plants, even down to the fruits and vegetables. How do the people really feel about their area because of all this natural green beauty surrounding them all the time?
Oh, they feel good about it. Is very natural, and in fact is a suburb that even people from the township, they are relocating to that place because of how beautiful it is.
Now, looking at the soil, much of the soil in Nigeria actually is quite rich. It does grow a variety of different plants and trees and vegetables, herbs. And I know that your kingdom is really moving to be all organic. Why is for local consumption, but also for export, having organic fruits and vegetables and herbs so important as we move through the 21st century?
It is so important because this organic food, they don't rotten so quickly. They have natural taste. In as much as we don't have electricity, so you can keep them for 2 or 3 days without putting them in the refrigerator, and they are still okay. That is why they're so important to us to go organic in that community.
I think that's absolutely fantastic. I know that you're using a mix as far as the traditional agriculture, people working by hand, using the machetes, both for planting, for cultivating, for harvesting, but also agriculture in Nigeria is, because there's more and more exports, is becoming mechanized at the same time. How do you balance what is going to be hand processed and how do you balance as what's going to be used more and more machinery?
The people carrying machete is because in the farm is because we don't have like the mechanized way of doing agriculture there now. That's why we are still doing the manual one, and we hope that with time, when we have money, we will get the machines. That is the modern way of doing agriculture this time, and it helps um, to harvest in a big way than the manual way that we're using now.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also too, with the mechanization, you can produce much more, both as you're becoming a middle income country. So people are demanding more and more high quality food. And also, the world is expecting more high quality food as the population expands to maybe 9 billion people by 2038. Cassava is a very important plant in Nigeria. Why is it so important?
Well, cassava is so important in Nigeria because it serves um, as different kinds of meal to us. You can use it as cereal. You can use it as what we call fufu, different kinds of fufu. You can use it as a snack, different ways, that you can use or you can prepare cassava as a full meal. That is
Mhm.
why it's so important to us in Nigeria.
Now, I know rubber is important, and this is something that you are actually expanding on your kingdom. And of course, rubber is important as far as tires is concerned, and really hundreds and thousands of other products. But why expand rubber trees on the kingdom at this time?
Oh, we expand the rubber trees in the kingdom at this time because we want to see if we can bring international community to the Nike, those that are making shoes, ball, not only tires. You can use rubber for different kinds of things.
Mm-hmm,
That
mm-hmm,
is one of our reasons we want to do exports. We want to
mm-hmm,
export some of our
mm-hmm,
products to outside Nigeria.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, and I'm going to go through these quickly because we have absolutely run out of time, Ugoeze. Cashews are very important as nut. The plantain, which I absolutely love and adore and enjoy. And then we're back to the cassava, and we're going out on that. Why is agriculture, and we have to be quick, why is agriculture becoming the new green revolution for Nigeria?
Um, Nigeria, they don't want to put all their eggs in a basket now because before now, they were hoping, everyone were hoping on oil. But right now they are expanding to agriculture. So people are doing different kinds of agriculture. They do aquaculture, poultry, different kinds. So,
Mhm, mhm.
and they when somebody sees that, oh, this person is doing agriculture and you are doing well, the next person would like to join.
Mhm.
So thereby expanding to different communities and states in Nigeria
That's
in
fantastic.
agriculture.
Thank you very much for being with us as we look around the globe to create the Emerald Planet.